So right here where you are is called your desktop, and that's where you can see the pictures in full view, and you can see the keyboard. You're gonna have like a little, which I love having the numbers on the side like that, and of course you have a num lock up here, so you can click on the num lock key and that'll lock your numbers in place. If you have it off, then you can use functions on the keyboard like paging up and paging down, which you can barely see here, but you can go home or page up or page down. You also have your enter button over here, and of course you have an enter button over here when you want to, when you're doing something on the computer. Alright, so this screen should be flipping. It's not flipping yet. Hasn't been 30 seconds, I guess. Unfortunately, this video is coming out a little blurry, but I hope it's okay. You'll notice that on your desktop, which this is called, I've got icons on the bottom. Going from the right, there's Yahoo, so you can click on that right when you come open, and you can go into your Yahoo Mail. Right next to that, that little round circle is called, that's Google Chrome, so that's going to get you straight to the internet. Right next to that is one of your banks, that's Capital One. Next to that, Jeff, do you have a pen so I can point while I'm doing this? Right next to that is Chase Manhattan, and all you're going to do is, click on your little icon at the bottom onto Chase Manhattan with your, your pad here, and you can see the arrow. And so you're just going to, like, for example, I want to go to Yahoo. Okay, so I'm going to click on that, and let's see if she comes up. Because if I did this right, she's coming up, and there she is. See? We're right in mail. No going to the internet, no doing any of that mess. You're right on board. Alright? So now I'm going to get out of Yahoo. So I'm going to come up here, and I'm just going to click out. Okay? And I'm back to my top. Now let's go to Chase. Okay, I want to take some money out because I need to go shopping. So I'm going to Chase, and there she is. You're right on the login screen of Chase. And now I want to X out of that. So I'm just going to go out. Okay, no going to the internet. I got all the hot buttons down here that you said you use. So there's Yahoo again. There's the internet. Let's click on that. Okay, that's Google Chrome. That's going to take me right to the internet. And bam, there I am on the Google search bar. And look at that nice African background I put in there for you. It's gorgeous. I think I'll put it on my own too. You'll notice that when I clicked over here, there's some secret buttons that appeared. They appear and disappear. But if you ever want to search your computer, you would just scroll down to that. So let me show you this again. So I'm on my X. I'm about to X out, and bam, they pop up. And there they are. You can search. You can share, which you won't be doing, I'm sure. You can go to your start menu, which I'm going to show you in a minute. You can go to your devices, which would be your printer, right? And you can go to your settings for your computer. Those are just little hot buttons that come off and on when you roam over there, okay? You can also get to them by kind of hovering down here and clicking, and they'll appear as well. Alright, so let's get out of Google. So we're going to go up, and we're just going to click right off of there with the little X, just like you're used to. So we get out, and oops, we're right back on the laptop again. Okay, screen isn't changing, so I'm going to check that when the video is done. Alright, so back to the little hot buttons on what this is called the taskbar down here. So these are just your task buttons. Okay, there's your First Tennessee Bank. Remember, we had Yahoo, we had Google Chrome, we had all your banks right there in a row. You can see me moving the cursor along, I hope, because this video is bad. Okay, and then here is, I just put a little fun button on here for the Weather Channel, because if you're anything like Jeff, you want to look at the weather constantly, even though you could just go outside. Okay, so here we have, we start your icons right next to the Weather Channel for all your office buttons, okay? And so here's Publisher, and here is your Picture Manager, and here is your, oh, I wish this video was better. Here's your PowerPoint, here's your Excel, and here's your Word. So just clicking on any one of these buttons is going to bring any, so let's just click on Word, because that, you may use Word. And here we go, it's bringing up Word, and there she is. Okay, so she's completely covered your entire screen. So we want to get out of there, because we've done our writing, and we're just going to, again, click right in the top and get out of Word. Alright, so then we go down past Word, and we've got a little button here for things that you would want on your laptop, like the control panel, you know, like your security and anything you'd really need to do on your laptop, pretty much. Not all of it, I'm not going to say all of it, but a lot of it's there, okay? Like hardware, software-wise, you know, printer-wise, whatever. Alright, and then we have a little folder next to that, and that folder is this PC. So if you want to get to your documents real quick, or your desktop documents, your downloads, your pictures, your music, and let's go to music. Alright, because guess what? Surprise! I loaded some music in there for you. And there they are. There's your playlist with your music, and if you click on one of those, it's going to bring up your music, and you can actually play some music on your laptop if you want to. Okay, so let's go to your, for example, pictures. Alright, if we go to pictures, you can see that those are all the pictures on this thing called desktop pictures. There's all the pictures, the 400 pictures I loaded in your computer for your enjoyment. Alright, now let's just X out of that. There we go. We're getting out of that. And we're going back to this button down here, which is completely blanking out. The very last button, there it is, on the right. I'm going to left click on that. Well, if I just click on it, it's going to bring me to what's called the start page. Okay, and you can see on the start page we have all kinds of nifty little buttons you can play with. There's the Dow for, you know, the stock market. There's a calculator for you. There's some headphones and a camera thing, and, you know, whatever you want to do there. There's some nifty little tips and stuff that'll scroll along. You can see that I have the pictures that I loaded for you are scrolling along. And your Norton security is there, and then you have a couple of, there's a sports channel and a news channel, there's a game, and there's an iHeartRadio, which a lot of times you can find some nifty things playing on iHeartRadio. And then over here on this side of what's called your start button, I have a calendar right there, and there's a button that says desktop, so anytime you're stuck and you can't get back to your desktop, just go, you know, where the word, where we just were, where the word is and all that, you're just going to click on that button and it's going to take you back. And there's the Knoxville weather. It's very nice. You must be enjoying yourself right now. And there's an Amazon button, an eBay button. There's another Google button. So if you have to get to the internet from this screen, you can just click here. I tried to make it so that no matter what screen you're on, you can get to Google and Yahoo and your banks and all that. Alright, and this is your PC settings if you're having any trouble. There's your Yahoo web portal, which is going to bring up the actual Yahoo that you're used to. And here, this button on this side, even though it doesn't say Yahoo, you can see the little mail icon down there. That is Yahoo, but it's a stripped down version of Yahoo that you may or may not want to use. It came with the package, so I just loaded it anyway in case you liked it better than, it's kind of, that's all it is. It doesn't bring you to any Yahoo opening screen or anything. It just takes you straight into a mail system. So you might enjoy using that. I gave it to you as a choice. Okay. So again, on this start thing, if we go down here, you can see that these are all the applications that are available to you, and you can move them up or down. You know, there you see I loaded Yahoo up on top, that Y, and the Yahoo Mail I also loaded up top. But you can have any of these things on your buttons up top as long as you have room. Okay, and if you wanted to do that, for some reason you wanted one of these buttons, which I don't think you will, you would just right click and then it brings you up this customized bar down here. And then say I wanted travel here, right? So I would click on travel. Well, that's going to take me into travel. I needed to right click. All right, but let me just show you this for a minute, because now we're stuck in travel. It's loading the application right now. So here we are. It says best things to do in New York, okay? And you can see I don't know how to get out of here because there's no X in the top right to get out. There's nothing in the top left. There's nothing in the bottom. How do I get out of this screen and go back to my desktop or my start menu where all my buttons are? Well, there's two ways actually. One, you can go to the keyboard, see right next to the alternate, that Windows key, okay? If I press on that Windows key, bam, I'm still in travel. All right, there we go. I'm at my start button. All right, so I'm pressing on that, but I want to go to my desktop, so how do I get there? Well, I have two choices. I can go here to desktop, like I told you in your start menu, and get there. Or I can use my alternate key, but we're stuck in travel. So if I use my alternate key, bam, I'm back to travel. How do I get out of there? Well, it's really took me a while to figure this out, okay? You go on the top left corner of your screen on travel, on these things, and you'll see right there, see that? A little picture appears of your other buttons that are hot right now. You click on that, it brings you right back to your desktop. Okay, so any places you're in, if you're in Google, wherever you are, you can get out of there by going in that top left-hand corner, and it'll show you a picture of what buttons you have open. It's not doing it here because we're on the desktop, but if you're stuck in one of those buttons like travel, or even Yahoo comes up like that sometimes, so that's a handy way to get out. All right, so keeping from the desktop now, we're just going to that button down here that I told we were on, this last button. If we right click on that, okay, we'll get a little menu pop up where we can do quite a few things, and I'm not going to go through all these things, but I have set everything on this computer. I think you'll like it, so I don't think you have to go in and reset anything, but just note that you can search from here. You can run programs, you can, and this is the important thing, if you want to manually shut down or sign out of your machine, you can do it here, okay, just like you're used to on your other computer. But remember, we have to go down to this button here on the left, and we have to right click to get this menu up. Okay, that's the only place you're going to see that shutdown. Okay, but you don't have to worry about that because I have set your laptop up so that when you open the top, it turns on, and when you close the top, it turns off. So that's really all you have to do. You never have to use this, but you may want to at some point. Okay, I don't know why you would, but you may. All right, so that's it for this button down here, which lights up purple actually when you're activating it. Then you'll notice also on your desktop, in addition to all of these little buttons on your taskbar that we already talked about, I've also got the same buttons up here, or a lot of the same ones, on your actual desktop. So if you don't want to use those little tiny ones, here's your First Tennessee, your Chase, your Capital One, your Yahoo, okay, your Google Chrome, here's YouTube right here. Here's some solitaire. I thought maybe you played that. I don't know. I know Donna does. But anyway, here is this is just Charles Webster. That'll bring up your files if you need to look at your files. There's your recycle bin like you're used to. And then I did put on a button for Wi-Fi and your network. So if you're having any trouble connecting to Wi-Fi or network, I thought if I have you on the phone, it would be hard for me to, talk you through it. So I needed to put these on here so you could just press Wi-Fi and get it fixed up. Okay? So that's pretty much it for the desktop. The picture hasn't changed, but it's going to change because I'm going to fix that as soon as I get off of this video. Alright, so let's go back now. Let's go to our start menu because we just want to go there. Alright, so I'm going to press my little Windows button, and bam, I'm back to my start. It's got the same desktop background, but it doesn't have the little icons at the bottom, and it doesn't have the choices at the top. What it does have are all these little applications for you to have fun with. All right, so let's get stuck in one more time, just so I can show you how to get out. Okay, so let's go to the Dow Jones, because, you know, if we're Jeff, that's where we're going to go right away. And that's probably the only place we're going to go the entire time we're on the laptop. Alright, so there's the MS Money, and you know how he loves money, so this is a really good site for him. Okay, so there will show you the Dow Jones and what's going on there, and you can look up other things and, you know, play with this thing as you want to. Like there's a little search icon up there if you want to search a particular stock. But anyway, oh, we can't get out, right? Because there's no freaking X on this thing. I can't believe Windows did this. Okay, it's just pathetic. But anyway, there's no X to get out of this. So I'm going to take my little arrow and I'm going to move over here to the top left, and I'm going to say, there we go, there's my picture of my desktop. Bam! I click on that and I'm back, and it shuts down that application as well. Okay, so again, yeah, I want to go back. I'm on my desktop now, but say, oh no, I want to go back to, so this actual little button here, this Windows button, is great because it'll get you out of, you know, where you're at. So here we are on the application screen called your start screen, and we have our little buttons. We can go to Yahoo, we can go to Google, we can use our calculator, we can look at the weather, we can go to the news stations, we can do quite a few things here. Or we can just toggle using my little button back and forth between the start screen and the desktop. So anytime, the only ways you're going to get stuck is you're going to be on your start screen and you're going to go, oh crap, I need to use Word. How do I get to my other screen? And there's two ways. Again, we have our desktop button up here, which is marked desktop. Right from this screen, I put a button there for you. Or we're going to use our little toggle, and we're just going to go, bam, I want to get to my desktop. There I am. Bam, back at the desktop. Now I'm on my desktop. Oh, I want to look at the weather. Well, there's two ways, right? Okay, remember I put your little weather icon on here. That little blue thing down there that can hardly be read is the weather channel, the actual weather channel. And then, no, but I want that other weather. All right, so we're just going to toggle right to our applications, and I can click on that little application, and I can look up weather in Africa, or, you know, wherever I want to look it up. Right now I've got it set to Knoxville, because for obvious reasons. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to bring me into the weather. And oh, that's going to show you the forecast for the days. It's still loading. Okay, and now it's going to say rainy, and it's going to tell you what's going on. But you can go over here and you can do some things, or really anytime you're in any of these screens, if you right click, it's going to bring up menus for you within these applications. Okay, so you notice these little menus on the bottom and top just popped up for you to do some stuff on the weather channel if you want to. Okay, but now again, I want to get out of this application, so how do I get back? How do I get back to where I was? Okay, the two choices again, I can either use my little Windows button here on the keyboard, or the way I do it, well, because if you just use the Windows button, it's not going to shut the application down. It's just going to toggle between where you were last and here. So I want this shut down. I don't want it running in the background. It's going to slow me down. So again, I'm going to go in the top left, and I'm going to wait for my little, well, I probably have to get out of this menu. Yeah, I'm getting out of that menu first. So I just clicked on the screen to get rid of those menus on the weather channel. And there I'm going in my top left, and you see this little thing up here is for you to go right back to your desktop. Now when we use the toggle button, all we're going to do is toggle between the start and the desktop, the start and the desktop. But anytime we're in an application, it's going to toggle between the desktop and your application, the desktop and your application. So when you don't want to you want to shut that application down, you're going to go in the top left, hover, and click to shut it down. Okay, the stupid way that they did that. It took me forever to figure that out. All right, I think that's probably all you need to know. I'm going to figure out how to get your pictures moving so that, and let's just walk through that, because maybe you don't want your pictures. Okay, so I have set this background the way I want it to rotate pictures for your enjoyment. But let's say we don't want that. We're going to go to this little button right here, yeah, and I'm going to click on that, and it's going to bring up your control panel. And on your control panel is a part that's called Appearance and Personalization. You can also right-click on your taskbar and get this same menu right here. You can go to Properties and get right here. So I'm going to click on that to see why isn't my screen toggling. So I'm going to double click and it brings up the menu with the personalization menu. Alright, so I'm going to go right to the top where it says Personalize. And it says change the visuals and sounds on your computer. Well, right now I have a theme running down here for my desktop background slideshow. Alright, it's supposed to be sliding. And I have your screensaver set for ribbons, which will come on in, I think, an hour. And the computer also will automatically shut itself off after 3 hours if it's plugged in, or 2 hours if it's plugged in, and like 20 minutes if you're just on battery. Okay? So I've got the screensaver set, so I'm not going to mess with that because what I'm interested in is why isn't the desktop background moving. So I'm going to come right down here and I'm going to click on desktop background and I'm going to look at my settings. Alright, and there's a ton of pictures in here that are supposed to be ruffling along, and it's set for 30 seconds. It says when using the battery power, pause the slideshow to save power. Oh, that explains it. Okay, so I'm using the battery right now, so that's why the slideshow is not running. So I'm happy with that, so I'm going to shut it down. It's doing exactly what it should be doing, and when you plug it in, the slideshow will go. Okay, so I'm going to get out of there. And that's it. There's your beautiful laptop. I love it. It's really cool. And I hope you love it too. I love you very much and I miss you very much. And I was so excited to you know, to do this little project for you. And I hope you love it. And I hope this little video helps you out. Okay? Any questions? Of course, you have tech support. You got my number. Alright? I love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. Have a wonderful, wonderful time with your brothers. I hope I will see you soon. Bye, honey.